Welcome to the English Teacher Podcast. I'm your host, and I have to say, I am incredibly excited for today's deep dive.
It is wonderful to be here. And, usually when you say you're excited, we're about to talk about some massive cultural trend or like a piece of classic literature. But
Today is different.
today we are getting very, very practical.
We are. We are on a mission. And honestly, it's a mission that nobody really wants to go on. But if you live in an English-speaking country for, I don't know, more than a week, you probably have to eventually.
Exactly. We are navigating a trip to the pharmacy, and specifically how to handle that experience in the United States.
It's so high stakes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always tell people this. If you are at a coffee shop and you mess up your vocabulary, you ask for a latte, you get a cappuccino, who cares?
Right.
You still get caffeine. It's a win.
It's a minor inconvenience. But the pharmacy, you're usually there because you feel terrible.
You're vulnerable.
You're vulnerable. The lights are bright, you're sweating, and if you mix up your words there, if you need something for a migraine and you walk out with a cream for, I don't know, a fungal infection.
That is a disaster. That is a bad day getting much, much worse.
It's a huge problem. So we've pulled together a really interesting stack of resources for this. We have narrative stories about food poisoning. We have lists of specific symptoms from our situational English source. We have dialogue scripts.
And even some psychological insights on stress and health.
We do, and our goal is, pretty simple. We want to get you to the point where you can walk into a Walgreens or a CVS, confidently describe exactly what is wrong, and buy the right medicine without ending up in the emergency room.
Or just ending up embarrassed, which, let's be honest, is sometimes the bigger fear for language learners.
That is so true. So to kick this off, we're going to do something we haven't done in a while on the show. We're going to jump straight into a simulation.
A role play.
Yes.
A role play.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Set the scene for me. Where are we? Exactly. Okay, here's the setup. We are in an American pharmacy. Now, this is important right off the bat. We are not at a chemist.
Right.
And we are not at an apothecary. We are at a drugstore.
Drugstore always sounds a little illicit to me, Like I'm doing something wrong, like I need a password to get in.
I know, right? It sounds so intense. But in the U.S., a drugstore is basically a convenience store that happens to sell medicine in the back.
No.
You walk in, you've got candy bars in aisle 1.
Greeting cards in aisle 2.
Maybe some lawn chairs in aisle 3, and then the life-saving medication is way, way in the back.
Okay, so I'm navigating past the candy bars. I'm walking to the back counter. Who am I in this scenario?
You are the patient, and unfortunately for you, you are having a very, very bad day. We're drawing this scenario specifically from a story in our source material called Food Poisoning.
Oof.
So you're not just tired, you are actively unwell.
I'm channeling the misery.
Got it. And I will be the pharmacist standing behind that high counter. I want you to act this out naturally, trying to use the American vocabulary and phrases from our texts. Then we'll freeze the action and break down what happened. Ready?
I was born ready. Well, in this character's case, I was born nauseous. Here we go.
Hi there. Welcome to the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Well, you look like you're having a rough morning. Can I help you find something?
Yeah. Hi. I really don't feel very well.
Okay.
Actually, to be honest, I think I'm going to be sick.
Oh, okay. Let's get you some help quickly. What seems to be the trouble exactly?
It's my stomach.
Yeah.
I have really bad nausea and a pounding headache.
Mm-hmm.
And this is embarrassing, but diarrhea. It's been awful. Do you have anything for that?
I see. I'm sorry to hear that. How long have you been feeling this way?
Since yesterday. I've felt exhausted all day. I think it might be from this kebab I ate downtown yesterday afternoon.
Ah, the downtown kebab. That sounds like a classic case of food poisoning. We see that a lot. Listen, you need to be careful because with those symptoms, the vomiting and the rest, you're probably dehydrated.
Dehydrated.
Yes. Your body is losing a lot of water. You need to drink plenty of fluids. But for the symptoms, I can recommend some medication. There are some pills you can take twice a day that should settle your stomach and help with the headache.
Okay. Thank you. I'll take the pills. And maybe a bottle of water?
Absolutely. Here you go. Feel better soon.
And seen. Yeah. Even just pretending to have food poisoning makes me feel a little woozy.
You sold it well. I was actually getting worried about that kebab for you.
I could practically taste it. But let's unpack that dialogue because there was a minefield of vocabulary in there that learners need to master.
Absolutely. Let's start with the red flag phrase. The moment where the pharmacist me actually kind of stepped back a little bit.
Yes. That was when I said, I think I'm going to be sick.
Now, this is a massive cultural trap for a lot of learners, especially if they've learned, British English.
Or just textbook English.
Exactly. Sick just means unwell. If I have a sniffle, I'm sick. If I'm tired, I'm sick.
Right. I feel sick.
Yeah,
Just implies I am not 100% healthy.
correct. But in American English, and this is a really crucial distinction, the specific phrase, I am going to be sick, or saying I feel sick, while, holding your stomach.
It implies immediate action.
It does. It is polite code for get a bucket right now.
It means vomiting.
It means vomiting. If you say, I'm going to be sick to an American pharmacist, they will physically recoil because they do not want to be in the splash zone.
Right. They'll point you to the bathroom.
It,
Immediately.
Immediately. So if you just have a cold or you're just feeling a bit under the weather, what should you say?
Just use that phrase I started with.
I don't feel well.
Yeah, I don't feel well. The soft opener, it signals something is wrong without creating, panic.
Or be specific. I have a cold, but say if I'm going to be sick for the emergency moments.
That brings us to the specific symptoms I listed. I mentioned nausea. That's a tricky word, isn't it?
It is. A lot of people see the spelling N-A-U-S-E-A and they want to say nausea.
Right.
But in American English, it's no-shu or maybe nausea.
And just to be clear for everyone listening, nausea is the feeling before the main event.
Right. Nausea is the noun. It's that turning sensation in your stomach where you think, uh-oh. Nauseous is the adjective. I feel nauseous.
And sadly, in our scenario, the stomach trouble didn't stop there. I also mentioned the other thing.
The diarrhea. Yes.
We have to talk about it. It's in the food poisoning story, so it's fair game.
It is a medical reality. And honestly, it's really important not to be too shy to use the actual word.
I feel like people try to use, euphemisms. My stomach is upset.
Yeah.
I have the runs.
The runs is common slang, sure. But if you are talking to a pharmacist, accuracy really matters. The diarrhea is the clinical term. It tells them that things are moving way too fast through your system.
And that leads directly to the danger you warned me about.
Dehydration?
Dehydration.
Yes. This comes directly from that food poisoning story in our source stack. The doctor in that story warns that the situation is dangerous, specifically because the patient is already dehydrated.
It just sounds so serious when you put it that way.
It is. It's not just being thirsty. It means your body has lost the essential fluids it needs to function. And when you have that, double exit problem.
Double exit problem.
Yeah.
That is a terrifying but very accurate way to put it.
I tried to keep it polite, but that's why the pharmacist immediately pivots to drink plenty of fluids. It's not just advice. It's the primary treatment. The water is just as important as the pills.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now we need the cure.
Yeah.
In the role play, I asked, do you have anything for that?
That is the golden phrase. I mean, if you take one thing away from this deep dive, memorize that structure. Do you have anything for? And then the symptom.
Do you have anything for a headache?
Do you have anything for a sore throat?
Sore throat. That's another one from our situational English unit.
It is. We didn't use it in the role play, but it's super common. That scratchy, painful feeling when you swallow. The beauty of this phrase is you don't need to know the name of the medicine. You just need to know the name of the pain.
You don't need to ask for ibuprofen or acetaminophen. You just ask, do you have anything for a fever? And let the expert do the work.
Precisely.
Now, the pharmacist recommended medication and pills. I want to pause on the grammar there because I hear learners mix this up all the time.
It's the countable versus uncountable trap. It gets everyone.
Right. You can't say, I need a medication.
No. Medication or medicine is like water or rice. It's the substance itself. You buy some medication, you take some medicine.
Pills.
Pills, tablets, capsules, those are countable. They are the individual unit. So you take a pill, you swallow 2 tablets, you buy a bottle of pills.
So if I walk up to the counter and say, I would like 1 medicine, please, I'm going to sound a little weird.
You're going to sound like a foreigner, yes. It's understandable, but it's not natural. You would say, I need some medicine, or I need something for my stomach.
Got it. Now, one detail we kind of glossed over, but I think is interesting, is the setting itself. You corrected me at the start about chemist versus pharmacy.
Yes. This is a big one, especially if you're using British-based textbooks. In the situational English source we have, it actually refers to the chemists.
Right.
And if you go to London, saying, I'm going to the chemist is perfect.
But if I'm in New York?
If you are in New York or Los Angeles or Chicago and you ask for a chemist, people might think you are looking for a scientist, like someone in a lab coat holding a beaker.
Sorry, the university is 3 blocks that way.
Exactly. You want a pharmacy or a drugstore, and usually once you are inside, you wait in a line, not a queue.
Line versus queue. That's a classic American-British split.
It is. And in a busy American drugstore, you definitely don't want to cut the line, or you'll have a different kind of headache.
Okay, let's pivot a little bit. We've been talking about being physically sick, vomiting, nausea, all that. But the word sick is doing a lot of heavy lifting in English. We use it in idioms where it has absolutely nothing to do with bacteria or viruses.
No, this is where it gets fun. You're thinking of being sick and tired.
Yes. I am sick and tired of this weather. I am sick and tired of this traffic.
If you say that, do not expect someone to hand you a tissue or take your temperature.
Right. It's not the same thing at all.
Not at all. We have a great explanation from our phrases and idioms source. To be sick and tired of something implies frustration, boredom, annoyance. It means you've been dealing with something for a long time and you are just done with it.
The example in the source was about food, interestingly enough. I'm sick and tired of eating the same thing for lunch.
Which creates a funny contrast with our role play. If you eat the same kebab every day for a year, you might be sick and tired of it.
But if you eat one bad kebab, you are just sick.
One is an emotional state, the other is a biohazard.
Precisely. There's another idiom in our sources that touches on health, but it's more about superstition. Touch wood.
Yes. The situational English text mentions this. It's what you say to avoid bad luck after you mention that things are going well. Like, I haven't had the flu this year, touch wood.
Wait, didn't we say we're focusing on American English today?
We did. And you caught me. Touch wood is very British.
So what's the American version?
In the United States, you will almost universally hear knock on wood.
Knock on wood. And people actually do it, don't they? Like they physically knock on something.
They really do. It's a physical idiom. I do it. If I say, wow, my car's been running great lately, I will immediately look for a table or a door frame and tap my knuckles on it. Knock, knock. Knock on wood.
It's like we're trying to prevent the universe from hearing us brag and then punishing us for it.
It is exactly that. We don't want to jinx it.
Okay, there is one more idiom from our sources, from the Destination B1 text. It's a nice positive one. Laughter is the best medicine.
I love this one. It suggests that your mental state, being happy, laughing, has a real tangible effect on your physical well-being.
Which actually leads us perfectly into the broader context of health.
Yeah.
Because avoiding the pharmacy isn't just about luck knocking on wood, it's about habits. And we have this source, 25 daily routine conversation questions, that gets into the nitty-gritty of hygiene.
And there is a really interesting linguistic distinction there about our teeth.
Brushing versus cleaning.
Right. The source notes that while you can say clean your teeth in American English, brush your teeth is just overwhelmingly the standard phrase.
I need to clean my teeth. Sounds, I don't know, industrial to me, like I'm taking them out and power washing them in the driveway.
Which let's hope you aren't doing. But the source also brings up the nemesis of dental patients everywhere. Flossing.
Oh, the guilt. Every time I go to the dentist, the guilt trip begins. Have you been flossing?
The source has a brutal statistic. Only about 30% of people floss their teeth every day.
Only 30%. You know, honestly, that sounds high. I feel like 30% of people say they floss, but maybe 10% actually do it.
It is the vegetables of dental hygiene. Everyone knows they should. Nobody wants to.
Oh.
But the vocabulary is key here. To floss. It's a verb and a noun. Do you floss?
So if you want to stay out of the dentist's chair, which is even worse than the pharmacy line, you need to brush and floss. That's preventative health.
Exactly. But there's another side to health that our sources touch on, which I found to be the most insightful part of this whole stack. It connects back to that idea of laughter is the best medicine.
Right.
It's the deep connection between stress and physical pain.
You're talking about the headache story.
I am. This is from the English Short Stories for Intermediate Learners book. It seems like a simple story at first, but it's actually really profound.
Walk us through it. What happens to the main character, Mrs. Meyer?
So, Mrs. Meyer goes to the doctor with a splitting headache. She is in real pain. And like most of us, she wants a quick fix. She wants that medication we talked about earlier.
What's a pill?
She wants a pill. She wants to walk in, say, "Do you have anything for a headache?" and walk out.
Been there.
We've all been there. But the doctor examines her and tells her something she really doesn't want to hear. He tells her the headache isn't from a virus or an injury, it's from stress.
The silent killer.
Exactly. So the doctor doesn't prescribe painkillers. He prescribes yoga and meditation.
Not medication, but meditation.
Yeah.
One letter difference, Huge life difference.
Huge difference. But here's the kicker, and I think this is so relatable. Mrs. Meyer tries the yoga for a few days. It's hard, it's slow, it doesn't work instantly, so she gives up.
Of course.
She goes back to the doctor. She wants the shortcut.
And she gets it.
She does. And eventually, the story tells us she ends up with pills for nervousness, tablets for stress, and Valium for sleeping. The story ends with this image of her having a big box full of pills and tablets.
That is dark. It's a tragedy, really.
It is, but it raises such an important point. We started this episode talking about how to buy medicine. We role-played getting pills for food poisoning, and sometimes you absolutely need pills. If you eat a bad kebab, yoga will not save you.
Right. Downward dog is not going to fix food poisoning.
No. But we need to distinguish between a physical ailment and a life problem. The vocabulary of stress, nervousness, and exhausted is just as important as nausea and diarrhea.
In the food poisoning story, the brother felt exhausted. In the headache story, the cause was stress. It's all connected.
It is. Sometimes you need a pharmacy, and sometimes you just need a vacation. Or a laugh.
So if we look at the big picture of this deep dive, we've actually covered a lot of ground. We've gone from the checkout counter to the human psyche.
We have. Let's do a quick recap of the tactical stuff before we go. We want everyone listening to be prepared.
Okay, first, symptoms, be specific. I have nausea, I have a headache.
And remember, the red flag, I think I'm going to be sick, means you're about to vomit. So, use with caution.
Right, the setting. It's a pharmacy or drugstore, not a chemist. You stand in a line, not a queue.
Solutions. Medication is the uncountable substance. Pills are the countable things you swallow. And always, always stay hydrated.
Then the idioms, sick and tired, means you're fed up. Knock on wood is how Americans avoid jinxing themselves.
And finally, we learned that while medicine is great, it's not always the answer. Sometimes the headache is just life.
It really makes you think. We are so quick to ask, do you have anything for this? Regarding our bodies, but we rarely ask, do you have anything for this? Regarding our schedules or our stress levels.
And that is a provocative thought I want to leave everyone with. Mrs. Meyer chose the box of pills, but maybe if laughter is the best medicine, we should be prescribing comedy specials instead of painkillers.
I would take a stand-up comedy special over a pill any day.
I think many of us would.
Well, that is all the time we have for today. To everyone listening, practice these phrases. Practice saying, I have nausea, or do you have anything for a sore throat? Practice them in front of a mirror.
And I say this with all sincerity, knock on wood, that you never actually have to use them.
Exactly. Stay healthy, everyone. Thanks for listening to the English Teacher Podcast.